Hi everybody, it's Jolene Emery from Big Raven Yoga, and I am popping into your live today to once again talk to another one of our guest artists about art and yoga, and I am very, very excited for today's guest. I have a little bit of a fangirl crush on this particular guest, and I am so excited to tell you about this collection and to talk to her. And in fact, I see her here, and if we can get her into the live here in just 1 second, she just has to request access, and then we will be, oh, there she is. Alrighty. So today I am Penfield of Lucy Interior Design, and Lucy is an amazing individual. There she is. She's one of my favorite people. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Jolene. How
Hi.
are you?
I am so good. How are you?
Oh, good. We're
Good.
getting our Zen on today.
Yes, absolutely. You were our featured doodle today, and I was just telling friends how much I've had such a fangirl crush on you for so long. To see a person like Lucy's the kind of person who comes through in your magazines, like Better Homes and Garden and Artful Living and Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine and Midwest Living and about a gajillion others. And so I had followed Lucy for a long time, just a fan of her work and her presence here in Minnesota. So when I saw her orders for Big Raven Yoga come through, I had a Jolene-sized stroke. I was
Yes.
so excited. And then I saw another one come through and I was really excited. And then I reached out and I said, hey, Lucy, how do you feel about being our first art director and, talking to us or giving us the pathway to design in a Lucy kind of way? And that turned into the Lucy collection at Big Raven Yoga. Yeah, which is in our Compassion collection and benefits Design for a Difference and specifically their project called NAS. So, okay, so that's all the whole introduction part. So, Lucy, how do you feel about having these 6 designs as a part of the Lucy collection?
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting and it feels wonderful just kind of wrapping ourselves up in all the designs and feels so alive. And I'm just thrilled. Jolene, it's been such a really exciting collaboration. And I want to, if I can backtrack a moment, because I want to say I have a really mutual love for you and your work. And I have to tell you how that my first love for Big Raven came, because I think I want to share it with our friends today.
Please.
Okay, so I was in at the yoga studio, of course, when we could do that, and laid out my mat, and next to me, this wonderful woman comes and rolls out this fancy mat with this beautiful face on it that's just joyful. And I had complete yoga mat envy. Mine was just boring and anyway, we had to be very quiet because we were in the Zen mode. Fell in love, asked her, I was chasing her after to find out about where she got it was Big Raven Yoga. Well, I got home and was like, okay, I'm all over this. Big, ordered my first mat and then ordered a couple for gifts. And what I loved is first of all, it was like I was a kid in a candy shop because there were, all these beautiful designs. But when the gift came and I unwrapped it, you had a little love note, and then it was so soft. And anyway, so that was my first Big Raven Yoga love crush.
I love that. Look, I'm all giddy. I love that story. That's so exciting. And I think the mat you were looking at that very first day was called "I Love This Quote," and it's a woman on a mat, on a background, and she's kind of blue, and she's got purple and pink flowers behind her, and the expression on it says, "I am obsessed with becoming a woman comfortable in my own skin."
That was it. That's exactly what it said.
Yep,
And
I love that design. I love it so much.
it's such a good message. And I think that's what's really cool about Big Raven yoga mats. It's a self, each one is a self-expression. It's not
Right,
just a yoga mat. It's
right,
more than that. Yeah.
right. It's, well, the intention or what I'm trying to lead my company toward and through is that, you know, my origin story, as you know, I was in this terrible accident and I almost lost my leg, and I was away from yoga for about a year during that recovery. And I went from wheelchair to walker to
Oh,
crutches back to yoga.
wow.
And when I got back, I was very optimistic, as always, thinking
Yeah.
that everything would be the same and thinking that I would just kind of pick up where I left off.
Right.
And I didn't, and it was different. And the mat that I had, I'd used for a decade, which you probably shouldn't do, but I did.
No,
And
there are too many Big Raven yoga mats.
yeah,
That
now
you
I
got.
do for sure.
Yeah.
But back then, I like unrolled that thing like a badge of honor because it was dirty. Like, you know how you can get divots
Yeah.
in some of them from so many
Yeah.
chaturangas, and like it saw me through teacher training, and it was just my very favorite piece of, equipment. And another yogi accidentally took it out of the locker room. Just a mistake.
Okay.
She took my icky one, left me her new one. And that's how Big Raven Yoga was born, because
Oh,
we all got our yoga mats mixed up back then. And I loved mine so much. And yoga is so personal, right?
right.
Like it is the most personalized thing that we do. And
Right.
so for our yoga mat to have intention or message or something that resonates with us has been the goal all along. And so, like, how do you feel when you now unroll a
Yes.
Lucy design? Like, what does that feel
Um,
like?
oh my gosh. Well, do you want to see one?
I do. I
Oh
want
my
to
gosh.
see one.
Okay,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I have to say, I know, yogis don't do cartwheels, but I
Yeah.
did do a cartwheel on it.
Some yogis, Lucy. Some.
So you can just, but I want to show you, I was so excited that I ordered the I'm Poppy for You,
Love
which
it. I love I'm Poppy for you.
it's so fun. It's a little 60s, a little pop art.
It is. It's got
Uh,
a little retro vibe to it for sure.
yeah, don't you think? And then blue is close to your heart. And okay, so I'm going to show you.
Okay. Okay. The big
Okay.
reveal of I'm
Okay.
Poppy for you. Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
Isn't
Look
it?
at
It looks
that.
so good. And then this, I had to just show you because it's so fun. Okay,
Oh, I love it.
the little signature XOXO, and
So
then
cute.
and then our hidden. Okay, tell us about this, which I love so much.
Right. So Big Raven, so hidden in, you know how like most yoga mats have a pretty big piece of branding on them. Like, your Lulu mat has an embossed, logo up in the corner and it looks pretty
Yeah,
cool. Or Manduka or some of the others have, little patches and stitches in them. Well, because I care so much about the art, I didn't want to mess with that and put a big logo on it. So instead, we incorporate our name into the art and hide it like an Easter egg as best we can. It doesn't always work out with,
yeah.
more linear designs like this one, but that is why that big raven is incorporated into the artwork.
Well, what I love though about that, really, which I think is so unique, is you do it creatively placed, as you indicated.
Yes.
And sometimes it's hidden. And in fact, when I've run into friends that have it, they're like, "Can you find the big raven?"
Oh my
You
God, I
know,
love that.
right? So
I
I
love
think
that it
that,
becomes that game. That's so fantastic.
yeah, it's like, where's Waldo?
Right.
Where's,
Well,
yeah,
it's exactly what I was intending. Like, and if you're, you know how like at the end of Pixar movies, they go back through and they show you the Easter eggs are like where, you'll see Woody entangled or like they
Yeah.
pop up in places they're not supposed to. So that was kind of
It is.
our motivation to like have, this little game. Like you have to try to find it.
I love that. And you know what I really also appreciate, because it is your signature, but and
Yes.
then with my signature, having being able to join the two and have the
Yes.
XOXO, which I love. I sign every little, whether it's a thank
Yeah.
you note or
It's a
whatever it is.
Lucy thing. I love
It,
it.
it is kind of the Lucy thing, and so I love having that in tandem together.
Right.
That's really wonderful.
So, Lucy, how long have you been an interior designer?
As long as I've been a yoga teacher, forever. Really, I'm telling. Do Jolene, if I tell you, you're gonna figure out how old I am. I just
You
kidding.
can,
No,
well, you're
I just kidding.
beautiful beyond
But
measure. So,
But actually, the first time I really fell into yoga was we were living in New York, just out of college, and I was just feeling like that I needed a little stress release from
sure.
the hum of New York life. And I found this old school Iyengar studio
Yes.
that practiced both Hatha and Iyengar. And every time I rolled out my mat 3 times a week after, leaving the office down in,
Yeah.
I was like on 6th Avenue. Anyway, found this real, and it felt so good and centering.
Yeah.
So from there, I'm kind of wound tight, as you know. And so yoga for me is that calming zen. So since then, really, yeah. And
That's
then
awesome.
for wherever we go, I always find yoga. Now we can take our phones with us or our iPad,
Right. Right.
but I always find, even for vacation, a little yoga studio, and bring my big raven mat.
Well, that's awesome. And are you looking forward to getting back to like a community practice and being with people? Because I know you've been doing a lot from home, as
Yeah,
many of us have, but are you looking forward to getting back into the studio and what's that like?
I think so. Don't you? I just love
Yes.
that camaraderie and the peacefulness, and also the chatter and the sharing
Yeah.
stories before and after class.
The
I really,
community, of course.
yeah. I think also that synergy and energy of community
Hmm.
is
Yeah.
so key to when you get on your mat. So I am. I bet you are too.
Oh, you know, I really didn't do, I shouldn't be too judgy, but the alone practice has never been my strength.
Yeah.
I am so much more connected to my mat and my intentions when I'm with other people. And I can't identify the why, like why I don't just do things on my own. Um, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's accountability, right? it's it's just a calling, I guess. And we've got folks in the comments, Lucy, saying the same thing, that it's we miss the community. And
Yeah.
for me, it's never so much about um the I got to check a box to say I did my yoga today.
You're right.
It's
It's more
it's
than
a
that.
yeah,
I
it's a way of life. It's just kind of like eating or breathing, or it's just a part of, the makeup of who I am. So your community of folks, maybe at Whispering Cave,
Yes.
one of our super fun friends, what is it like to, look forward to getting back to that community?
It feels really wonderful. It really does. I think it feels very empowering.
Yes.
And also, I think the other thing about, you're right, it holds the accountability,
Hmm.
because you can't talk yourself out of, oh, I'm
Right.
not feeling it, or I've only had 20 minutes, but you look forward to it. So I look forward to seeing the
Me too.
friends and the community. And I also look forward to rolling out my fancy new Lucy mat.
I know. I
Oh
know,
my
I
God.
could totally see that. In fact, I have a little surprise for you. So, we for those who might not know, we do everything here at our farm. So, we all the production happens here in-house. And so when it's time to print a yoga mat, I can just go print one and it takes about, 10 minutes or so. But I wanted to show you what I printed this morning. This mat, I know, right? This
Oh
mat is
my,
called Lucy Loves Color, and
yay.
it's a part of our collaboration. And like, look at this thing,
Oh my
Lucy. Like,
God.
this just screams a Lucy design to me. Like,
Oh my gosh, it's so good in real life. Look at that.
I know, I love it, I love it, I love it. So Lucy Loves Color. Like, that's kind of your brand identifier, right? Like, that's kind of your thing.
It really has been. And the thing is, sometimes we say it's the Papa color. I mean, for
Sure.
sure, and here we have, the Warhol behind, and
Yeah,
then your fun poppy color on the mat. But sometimes it's just like a zing, a
sure.
pizzazz, surprise of color. Um, we never want to like overscare people that it's just
Right?
crazy,
Take the
crazy color.
senses, right? Just
Yeah, but it is kind of it's a spirit lifter. Really
right,
find that color is a mood lifter, an enhancer, and it uses all the senses. You want to see
right.
it, feel it, touch it, smell it. So that
You
mat
know,
does it all.
that when you say smell, it is so funny you should say that because when I was getting this out of the print room, I was like, I feel like I smell candy store, or I feel like maybe in the box we should put a bag of Smarties or something because
Oh
those are
my,
all of the colors in this design, and it's what it made me think of.
oh, that's so fun. I love the idea. We need to do that little Smarties.
Won't that be cute?
That's
It's
a
so
really
cute.
cute idea. Actually, speaking of that, I want to talk about, maybe you can share with us the micro suede. The suede is
Sure.
it is
Yeah.
so soft
Important.
and cushy, but
Right.
even in terms of my bonus daughter does Pilates and is a
Yeah.
Pilates instructor, and the softness for whether it's a tumbling mat. I was thinking
Mm,
about your mats are very unusual. It's really it feels so yummy and soft as well
right.
as the function. So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Absolutely. I'd love to. I could talk about this all day long.
Uh,
So you know how like did you before you had your big raven mat, did you ever practice hot yoga?
yes, yes.
Okay, and did you use a towel?
A towel that you add
Yeah, put on
on to the
top.
mat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did I. And I had a polyurethane mat, this slick kind of plastic, and then I would sometimes put a towel on top of it. And of course, the towel and the mat never married the
No,
whole time.
they bunch up.
Right? Like they slip and they slide and they go different directions. And I'm a little controlling, and and I didn't like that I couldn't control that stupid towel and have it just stay where I wanted it to stay. So I ended up just like not even using it. And then of course your feet kind of turn into a slip and slide, and you could be in warrior two and everything is going in
You
opposite
do the
directions.
splits.
Right, you're in the
Yeah.
splits. So I didn't really like that either. So our product is a combination of your yoga mat and your towel so that those two things are fused together. Like they're not going anywhere. They're one piece of equipment. So the
Yeah.
top is the towel and it's on the rubber back. So the softness is that microfiber suede towel. And the reason that we have to have this kind is because you can't print on polyurethane mats. You can't
No.
print on the plasticky or like the waffle weavy ones. You
Right.
can scratch it off with your finger, or because we tried everything just to
Yeah.
see what would work and get into different price points. But we tried printing on a polyurethane mat and it cracks. And it like when you roll it, it just chips and it makes this really weird sound. So
I
ours is
also,
just like any other textile, like a towel or a bed sheet. Like the dye sublimation is in there and it's not going anywhere. Like it's in there forever.
well, I think that's what I was so excited about our collaboration, that it is like a textile. It
Yes.
is pure and it's true to color, which
Yes.
we're kind of goofy about too. And
Mm-hmm.
our artist design and then the digital version and your
Right.
print version are like 100%. It's
Yep.
like perfect match. And then you don't, and you can wash it. And so what I love is, as we've talked about, is that the color stays true
Yes. Yep.
and pure. Yeah,
Yep, it's
I
color fast. And I should say too that, maybe after, years of putting it in the sun or something like it might look different, but that's not how we behave with this product. So, the normal use of it, it's color fast and
yeah,
because we're an environmental, brand, it's all water based. So that
that's
makes me happy
wonderful.
too.
That's
So
wonderful.
so Lucy, let me ask you about, okay, so we have this collaboration. I reach out to you. I get so excited that you're up for it. We come together and we design 6 different pieces. And if you're interested in seeing them all, they're at Big Raven Yoga. They're in the Compassion collection. Hannah will probably pop a link in here somewhere. But tell us about. So we put them in the Compassion collection, and for every mat that we sell, we are making a donation to Design for a Difference, and specifically a project they're working on called NAS. Can
Yeah.
you tell us about Design for a Difference and why it's important to you?
Oh my gosh, music to my ears. I'd love
Yeah.
to. And so, Design for a Difference is a community-driven group, a community of interior designers and architects and showrooms, and we do collectively all over the world um, design makeovers for nonprofits, and we really create change, create beauty, and help the organizations. Um, Live and create a beautiful space to not only welcome people in their community, but to work in. Um, and so it's a beautiful organization I've been an ambassador for about the last 7 years. And we have a fun group, very creative group, and it feels so good um, to really be able to use our creative talents and our artistic talents to make change for those that can't usually afford an interior designer. And
Right.
so that's really, that feels so good
Mm-hmm.
to us. So we have a special project um, with with NAS,
Yep, which is the
North
North Side Achievement Zone.
Achievement,
Mm-hmm.
and a special place for all of us on the north side of Minneapolis. And founder Sandra Samuels, beautiful woman, lovely person, started this fabulous organization to um, help educate
Mm-hmm.
and coach and train families and their scholars, really, to help educate them and follow through with their studies and their good
Mm-hmm.
discipline, and to all the way through college. And
Yeah.
so this is just a small support, something we can do as an organization together with Big Raven. I think it's really astounding. Ever to
I
remind us again, if we purchase one mat,
Yep. So for each mat that we sell, we are donating $50
oh,
to Design for a Difference project with
yeah,
NAS. And so that's very, very exciting because one, it's a beautiful organization. And, two, it's so wonderful to be able to collaborate in such a way that helps people who are helping others, and I'm really excited. I'm excited to be connected through your connection and believe that this whole, spirit of helping and caring and like that's the very best part of owning a business, I think.
I think so too, and I think what's exciting to our group, our the Design for a Difference community
Mm-hmm.
here in Minneapolis that's working on this NAS project. We've already raised some funds,
Okay.
which is very exciting. We've made um, uh, beautiful progress, but each mat is going to go specifically to helping with that education and the
Yes.
um, and to all the coaches come to their office on the north side to gather their thoughts, write up their meeting notes, and meet with their families. And so this new community office space will really affect everybody. And I really truly, when we decided to do this together, the
Mm-hmm.
idea that we do something beautiful, colorful, and happy for
Yep.
all our yogis, but in addition, to make a difference, that was just what honestly sparked
I
really.
know.
Yeah,
It's absolutely thrilling. And of the six designs, we have the I'm Poppy for You, which
yeah,
you held up. We
yes. I
have
might have to show you again. Oh,
yeah,
and there we
we have
have.
Lucy Loves Color. We have Yoga Mudra. Can you tell everyone about Yoga Mudra? And that one comes in six colors. Like it's
Ooh,
amazing. So
I
tell us about Yoga Mudra.
well, the yoga mudra is it's almost for each project I do a little mind maze or a
Yes.
little creative inspiration, and it's usually a word maze.
Hmm.
So for yoga mudra, as our project launch together, I doodled like you
Yeah.
would do your fun doodles, but I
Yes.
doodled all the words that you think of as Zen,
Hmm.
Iyengar,
Yep.
all
I think you
so
said you have flow and you have yoga and intention and meditation and breath, and they're all in Lucy's hand, in her
yeah,
hand doodles,
yeah,
and they take up the entire space of the design, and they come in black,
yeah.
tangerine,
Woo!
kind of a blue, kind of a ethereal purple. It's so cool, Lucy. Like you crushed that idea. I love that one so much. And it's got the hidden raven and it's got the XO Lucy. So it's so cute.
It's so fun. I think
Hmm.
that the neat thing is you get to go on and choose your color.
Yes, you sure
And
do.
won't it be fun to kind of see what do you think is going to be the favorite, the fan
So
favorite?
I think the fan favorite of the six is going to be Lucy Loves Color. I think it's
Oh,
going to be the one that I just showed because it is so unique. And I love like the geometrics and I mean there's just so much to love. Like
yeah.
then the more you look at it, the more you see. So like I look at this little bit and I'm like, "Oh, I never noticed that before." And I love it. But in the Yoga Mudra, I kind of think the black one, the black and white, is probably going to be the one that speaks to the most folks. But for
Yeah.
me, I really like the tangerine one.
I like the tangerine.
Yep.
It's interesting too, that kind of ethereal blue, the
Yeah.
ethereal purple. I think anything that sort of resonates at the calm and the zen, but it will be
Hmm.
really fun to see what the fan fave is.
Right. Well, and then there's Tropical Escape. And that one is flowers and it's greens and reds and yellows. And then we have the color block one.
The
The
color the color maze.
Yes, the color
Yeah.
maze. And then the last one we have is saying, I can never say the
So
cactus name.
Saguaro Sunrise.
Saguaro.
So
I
if
always
you're
want to
very
put a hard G in there and be like saying girl.
I know. No, what I think is kind of fun about where we landed with our designs, because we shared so many and
We
fun things
did.
to play with, but we thought, find Zen, kind of Zen in the desert. So that's
Right.
our Saguaro sunrise. Um,
Soraro.
that's our, yes, when you get the cactus in the mountains. So that's very grounding.
Yes.
And then the tropical escape
Mhm.
for those yogis who love to do yoga
Yep.
on the beach or amongst the palm trees, like our fiddly fig. um, but if you're a plant lover and like that, so that was
Mhm.
the tropical escape, sort of gave us the beach and the desert.
Well, and I think for here in Minnesota, I think, Lucy, I don't remember when we started designing, like, with the pandemic and everything, like, I don't know if I'm alone, but dates and times, like, I feel like I'm in a warp. I
It's a
can't,
blur.
I don't remember. But I
It's a
feel like
blur.
it might have been winterish. And the tropical escape, I was like, oh, this is nice when we're in, sub-zero temperatures and it's so cold. Like, I really like that one too.
Yeah, I think you're right. You have a little beach, a little tropical zen,
Yes.
and then we have our mindfulness of
Yeah.
the yoga mudra, and so
Well,
lots of
I'm looking right now at the yoga mudra, and I forgot, like, I love your little, so I'm asking like 14 questions at once because I'm so excited, but like, are you an active listener where you have to doodle while listening to people, or do you doodle often? Because it's like there are little stars and there's little yin and yang and there's a little peace sign. And it strikes me as it was created by a person who's an active doodler.
fun.
Like these are your little shapes and markings that you do.
Well, it's funny that you say that because um, really that was part of like learning as a little kid,
Yeah.
even like in grade school. I could never, I'm like a multitasker and my energy is like
Hmm.
crazy, radiating all over. So, absolutely the act of listening, even though I didn't know what
Hmm.
that was then,
Yeah, me
but
too. Me too. Hmm.
I had to doodle and I have my little pad here, but I have to, the doodle just kind of free form and you think
Hmm.
and listen at the same time.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think that's very true.
Well, I recognize that because I am that way myself. Like my ears don't work if my hands aren't somehow engaged in that process. So I might look like I'm not paying attention, but I really, really am. It helps me
Yeah,
to, be
calms.
doodling. Yes.
Don't you think it calms the
Oh, yes.
mind, and yeah, it enhances the listening
Yes.
by
And for
calming.
exactly, and for these creative active minds that you and I have, it's a channel. It's right. It's
Yeah.
a lane to stay in.
I want to ask you, since we're talking about the doodle,
Yeah.
when I remember because I love waking up and seeing your Instagram and
Thank you.
everyone listening today, you have to, it's so fun
Thank
because
you.
Big Raven there's always a doodle and a
Yep.
beautiful message.
Yes.
And then you scroll and you see, the mat that's been
Yep.
doodled. And anyway, it just always connects good energy and something, usually something fun and
Yeah.
spirited. But tell us about the doodle, how it came about and
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah. Lucy, I would love to. Thank you for asking. This is supposed to be about you, but thank you.
I
So,
love the doodle.
you know how, like, so Instagram is about people and relationships and connections. And, we own a business that has a product. And it's challenging to find a way to be a human and connect with other humans when you have this product. And I'm the kind of Instagram user where I don't want to see product, 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 product because I care about people. I want to see what people are doing and I want to, be either entertained or inspired. And so one day, just kind of on a whim, we were brainstorming and we have a team of really talented artists, and we thought, okay, let's give this a try. Let's, doodle, and I can't remember if it was one of us or, one of our yogis. I can't recall like who was the inspiration for the doodle. And we seem to have struck a chord. And then it just became part of our brand identity that instead of throwing our product at people every day, we throw something that we think is valuable, either in, humor or inspiration, or, now we're even talking a little bit more about postures. And oh, by the way, our yogis that are doodled are on our mats. And so it's just a much more humanizing way to be interactive with our community. So that's kind of how it started. Did you see yours today?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Moments. I think I was like a few seconds late getting on. And Betsy said, "Oh my gosh, did you see the little doodle? You have to see what Jolie
So cute.
posted." So, oh my gosh, was that from the photo that
Yes.
of me?
Yeah.
That is so fun. It's so cute.
Isn't it cute? She's so cute. And I think
Oh,
it looks exactly like you. And I just
oh.
love it so much. And we
Did,
do 2 of these a day. So we're getting we're getting better all the time at the refinement of, you got a little blush, a
yeah, you
little
got
color on the lips.
I think you made me look much better on your doodle, by the way. And I wanted these, the blonde highlights, and you put those blonde highlights in.
Right.
But I think what's neat about the doodles, because right when I saw it,
Mm-hmm.
it feels warm and fuzzy
Yes.
because, as you said, you connect to the human factor,
Right.
and you could picture yourself, and it's not a caricature, but it's not
No.
100% real. It's
No.
suggestive. And
Yes.
so I think anytime I look at a doodle, I think, oh, well, I could do, that pose.
Sure.
Or, oh, he's
Yeah.
doing this. And so you feel, I think you connect by spirit and
Yeah.
relate to it. So it feels warm and fuzzy. And I think
Well, and
that's
real people,
real.
like there are lots of, that whole kind of yoga narrative about what yoga is and who does yoga and who it's for. I think that's something that, we have a studio here on the farm too. And it's always top of mind for me that, if you can breathe, you can do yoga. And
Yeah.
we tend to, especially in social media, make it a whole lot more complicated than it really is. And I think that for me, yoga is a metaphor. It's a metaphor for, practice. And
Yeah.
when you're on your mat, it's your opportunity to breathe. And if
Yeah.
you can put, your leg behind your head, well done you. But that's not the goal.
No, I think that's really true. I think this last year has reminded us of that. It's more about centering and focus
Right?
and reconnecting or calming your mind or easing the stresses and using yoga that might be meditative. And it doesn't have to be just sweat driven and
No.
physical. It's mind, body, spirit. It's everything. I
Right.
always, for me, it's about centering, and I
Yes.
think I think you're right. It is all ages and little guys,
Hmm.
um, and little Jane and Jerome picked out a mat. They decided I'm Poppy for you.
Oh, very
Yes,
nice. Very
yes.
nice.
So I think that's perfect. They're 4 and 5, and use
Oh.
it as tumbling or dance or yoga.
Hmm.
So it's never too early.
Right, right. Never too early, never too late.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
So, Lucy, I know I said it at the beginning, but I just have to say it again. Like, I am absolutely touched and thrilled to the core that when you got my little email of, "Hey, Lucy, you want to do a little something?" that you said yes, and that it turned into this beautiful collaboration and
oh,
collection. And like, you are so humble. Like, do you know that you're kind of like a Minnesota golden girl? Like, Like you're our
Oh,
little
you're
famous
sweet.
person?
No, you're sweet, Jolene.
But you
I think
are, like you're a
I
big
think
deal.
you're a big deal. You're a big deal. And I'm so glad we collaborated together. And it makes my life richer and more exciting and centered, that's for sure.
Hmm.
So
Well,
I'm very grateful for the
so am I. Thank you so, so much. And thank you for jumping on here with me today to tell our friends and followers about what we're up to with this collaboration. And if I didn't say it, it's the Lucy Collection at Big Raven Yoga. It is in the Compassion collection. So each purchase has a charitable contribution to Design for a Difference, and specifically their project at NAS, which is the Northside Achievement Zone. And we are so excited to be a part of it and to tell people about it. And Lucy, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jolene, you're wonderful. Thank you for this fun collaboration.
I can't stop smiling. Like
I
I wonder
know.
what this will be like when people watch it later because I'm just so giddy and so excited. But
I am too. Thank you so much.
thank
We'll
you.
see
Oh,
we'll see you soon.
yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.